43. Tonight, cloudy, drizzle, and fog. The same story throughout the day. We'll dip down to 40. Tomorrow, light rain is likely in the evening hours. We have a high of 47. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a bus driver is in custody after a deadly crash last night. Happened around 10:30 near 47th and Villard. Police say two men were working on a vehicle on the north side of the street when a Milwaukee County Transit System bus hit them. A 79-year-old died right there at the scene. A 37-year-old is in the hospital right now with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the vehicle was parked legally. The 51-year-old bus driver stayed at the scene and was taken into custody.
A young child injured by gunfire on Christmas morning. It happened before 6 a.m. near 35th and Call. A 6-year-old was taken to the hospital for serious injuries. Milwaukee police are still investigating the circumstances leading up to the shooting.
Starbucks employees are back in the job after a 5-day strike the union calls the biggest in the coffee chain's history. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the update.
The Starbucks Workers United Union says 5,000 baristas demanding higher wages walked off the job on Christmas Eve, shutting down more than 300 stores across 43 states. Now, Starbucks points out that is just a fraction of the more than 10,000 locations that it owns across the U.S. And the coffee chain accuses the union of walking away from the bargaining table, saying we are ready to continue negotiations over pay and benefits.
Who is responsible for removing homeless encampments? At least 4 to 7 people are actively living on private property near White Rock Avenue and Moreland Boulevard in Waukesha on an on and off encampment since May. Mayor Sean Riley tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
It really is the property owner that's responsible for keeping people off their property. They have a responsibility to monitor it, and if there's people that are coming into this piece of property, they should be contacting the police themselves.
Riley says police hope to convince the remaining individuals to leave the property within 2 weeks.
The city of Milwaukee is collecting and recycling Christmas trees starting today and going through January 31st. Cut trees must be free from all decorations and not placed in a bag so they can be shredded and composted. People in Milwaukee need to contact the Department of Public Works to schedule the pickup before placing that tree on the curb. You can look for more details right now on our website, WTMJ.com. Let's go ahead right now and check out your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Did some of you get some money for Christmas? That would be nice, right? Maybe you're going to put it into the markets. The Dow up 53 points to 43,350. S&P 500 up nearly 4 points to 6,043. And the NASDAQ up nearly 10 points to 20,040. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the holiday season, it's time to celebrate with new lights and ceiling fans. And our huge award-winning showroom displays hundreds of the best quality lights and fans. There's not a brand we can't get, and our prices are the lowest, even lower than online. I guarantee it. And our knowledgeable staff is always here to assist you in making the right choices. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including antiques, collectibles, fun for the kids, and our famous free popcorn. We are open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers hope to finish the regular season strong. The team squares off against Sam Arnold and the Vikings from Minneapolis on Sunday afternoon. Green Bay is coming off a shutout win over the Saints on Monday Night Football and clinched a playoff spot. With the victory, Green Bay is third in the NFC North at 11-4. The Bucs return from the Christmas break tonight. The team tips off against the Nets from Fiserv, and the Bucs have won back-to-back games and improved to 16-12. College basketball, Milwaukee hosts IU Indianapolis Sunday afternoon. Number 8 Marquette visits Providence on New Year's Eve. Wisconsin hosts Iowa on January 3rd.
Let's check out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. The big story on the roads today is the fog coming in. I knew it was going to be foggy, but man, just going down the roads, you could hardly see the buildings downtown. It is wild out there. Be careful as well. We do have a disabled vehicle out in the system, and it's a big one, and I want to let you know about it because specifically of the fog. I-94 West, just a little bit beyond Moreland, the right shoulder is blocked due to a semi that is off to the road. I do see that an emergency responder has pulled up, has its lights on, so that's going to help people see it. But looking at the cameras, it's foggy out there as well in the Elm Grove Brookfield area, and that semi is off to the side, so I just want to alert you in case you're on the roads. I-94 West, near Moreland, big semi off to the road in the midst of all that fog.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast right now, dense fog advisory till 3 p.m. for pretty much all the listening areas: Sheboygan County, Fond du Lac County, Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, Milwaukee, Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, and Jefferson counties. That is no kidding. Till 3 o'clock today, that dense fog advisory. Today you will see that fog, drizzle, some freezing in the northwest drizzle, and cloudy, high 43 tonight. Cloudy, drizzle, fog, low 40. Friday, some afternoon light rain likely, high 47. Saturday, a slight shower chance, very mild, high 50. Sunday weather, mostly cloudy, high 46. And next Monday, mostly cloudy, high 44. Right now in Milwaukee, foggy and 39. I'm Sandy Max, signing
Live
Unlimited.
from the Annex Wealth
WTMJ
Management
News Time,
Studios in
11:08.
downtown Milwaukee. It's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life.
Everyone, we hope you had a wonderful Christmas. For those of you who celebrate and you are feeling well, I know there is something going around right now. Maybe a couple things going around right now, so I hope you are feeling well. We have a lot to get to today, so let's get straight to it.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, a bird strike or something more sinister? Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly plane crash in Kazakhstan. At least 38 people were killed, including both pilots. There's some speculation the Christmas Day crash was caused by a bird strike, but there are also questions about whether Russian air defenses may have been involved. Here's the latest from ABC's Foreign Desk.
Russia had recently defended the area from Ukrainian drone attacks. When asked whether the plane may have been fired upon by air defenses, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters it would be wrong to speculate before the investigation is complete.
If you've been on social media in the last 24 hours, you've probably seen this horrendous video of the plane crash. It is intense. Now there's a video giving an inside look at the moments before the crash.
New video from inside the cabin showing the moments before the crash. Passengers wearing oxygen masks, life vests on seats, and damage to the plane's wing is visible.
Aviation analyst John Nance says the one thing that's fairly clear is that the pilots were having trouble controlling the airplane, and that's probably one of the key factors in the crash.
Number 2, a bill signing blitz. President Biden celebrated the holidays signing a bunch of bills into law. And we're not talking about 2, even a few 50 bills, and one of them tackles hazing at school. CBS News correspondent Scott McFarlane has all the details.
Russia had recently defended the area from Ukrainian drone attacks. When asked whether the plane may have been fired.
The anti-hazing law signed by President Biden would require schools to report annually incidents of hazing on their campuses. Federal law already requires schools to report safety issues, safety incidents on campuses. That now expands to include hazing.
President Biden now on his way to the U.S. Virgin Islands to spend time with family leading up to the new year.
Number 3, one strike over, another on pause. Starbucks workers are back on the job after a 5-day strike. And a strike by workers for Amazon is on hold.
The Teamsters Union tells us that delivery workers picketed at more than 200 Amazon locations nationwide, seeking better pay and better working conditions. Amazon insists that the strike didn't have any impact on operations and delivery of holiday packages.
The unions for both Starbucks and Amazon say their fight is not over. Starbucks accuses the union of walking away from bargaining talks, saying it's ready to continue negotiations over pay and benefits. Sandy, I kind of said in the midst of this whole Starbucks thing, it did impact some stores here in Wisconsin. Not all of them, though, for sure. But we have so many great coffee shops here that are not Starbucks. Milwaukee's really lucky
absolutely.
for that.
It's a long list. I remember when Collectivo was Altera. That's how far back I go.
That was such a big change when they changed the name.
And they've lived on and done great and are partnered with Troubadour Bakery. But I was also concerned with Collectivo's growth that other roasters like Stone Creek might have suffered, but they're doing great. You've got Valentine, you've got Anodyne. It's a long, long list of great local roasters here.
And now at Red Arrow Park, that was a big change. It used to be a
Big B.
Starbucks, and Big B is now there, recently opened. So I just checked them out, and it's another great local spot to check out. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:12.
'Tis the season of giving.
Santa's coming to town.
And since we already got a gift for the Nets,
The Bucks with the victory over the Brooklyn Nets.
we feel no shame in re-gifting.
Same, but different. But still same.
It's the Bucks hosting the Nets at Fiserv Forum.
He'll tee one up from 3, and he drains another one.
Our Bucks Radio Game Day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through March 1st, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America, Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has provided more than 2.6 million meals to people in southeast Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Elmbrook Family Dental, a great dental team from right here in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric is great. He's born and raised in Elm Grove, and he's the expert when it comes to cosmetic work with Invisalign. Dr. Eric's used Invisalign himself. He knows that would help him treat patients. He can help walk you through the process. The website is elmbrookfamilydental.com. 3 locations, 2 in Brookfield and a brand new spot in Wauwatosa. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
It is currently 42 degrees in Milwaukee and very foggy. There is fog across the area. Be prepared for that if you have to hit the roads. It's going to be a really gloomy day ahead, unfortunately. I know a lot of you are staying home. So you know what? Just be cozy in the house, right? We have a high of 43. Tonight we'll dip down to 40. Tomorrow, a little light rain is likely in the evening hours. We'll have a high of 47 tomorrow. Christmas is over and soon we'll be taking down the tree. Wouldn't it be nice if the real ones didn't drop their needles?
A lot less vacuuming, a lot less pointy things in my socks.
Oh my goodness.
That'll wake you up.
We like to keep our tree up. It's beautiful. It smells nice. We like to keep it up for quite a while. Then when we take that thing out, it's like needles all over the place. Vacuum, vacuum, vacuum. And then we actually vacuum the elevators in the condo and going out the door.
Well, the needles have that way of like weaving themselves into the pile of the carpet too. So you find them like 2 months later, all dried up and even pointier.
Bottom line, it is a mess. It's a pain in the butt. But the Christmas trees of the future may not drop their needles. And they might smell longer, too. We talked with Justin Whitehill, who heads up a Christmas tree genetics program in North Carolina. It's kind of like 23andMe for Christmas trees. He is ultimately breeding better trees.
So how did I get involved with it? Well, I've always kind of been interested in trees, and I've worked on trees even in my undergraduate through grad school. I did a postdoc at the University of British Columbia in Canada, and then when the job came up at NC State to be work on Christmas trees, I sprang on the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, our program, we focus on genetic improvement and trying to develop better trees using genetic principles.
So this is interesting. So when Jessica used the word breeding, my mind goes to a balsam and a fir. Can you mix seedlings and grow kind of like a hybrid tree? Is this what you're after?
We're not after that. Some of our growers do make hybrid trees. So if you cross a Fraser fir and a balsam, you get a fralsam. You can do all kinds of different crosses. But we work here in North Carolina. We work primarily with the Fraser fir. That's kind of our bread and butter here, but we work with other growers across the United States, and there's all kinds of different traits and different things we're looking at to try to improve the experience for not only consumers, but also our growers as well.
So what exactly are you trying to do? What is the ideal Christmas tree? What are you trying to create?
Well, I think the ideal Christmas tree is really in the eye of the beholder. So I mean, I think it depends on what you're interested in. What we focus on, we're looking at all kinds of things. I mean, we want to make the trees better for our growers. That means they grow faster, they have a less reliance on pesticides and for even using fertilizers. And also for consumers, we want to make sure that consumers have a happy experience. So we're improving the aroma, trying to identify different aromas that consumers like, and also improve needle retention, as you mentioned at the top of this.
So how do you do that?
Well, it's a very slow process. Trees take anywhere between 20 to 30 years before they produce cones in the next generation. So we're trying to speed that up using things like reading the DNA of the organisms. And one way to do that is just to go out and select trees from nature, or we have a breeding program where we select the best of the best trees, doing kind of extensive testing of trees performing in the field. And our program is over 40 years old, and so we've been doing this for a long time. But now we're using more advanced technologies to sort of hone in on some of those traits a little faster so we can start breeding them and capturing the next generation a little quicker than what we've done in the past.
So any grower, Justin, wants the ideal crop of trees, right? So do they come to you to try and enhance the product that grows in their area?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we collaborate with growers around the country. For instance, we just received a very large grant from the USDA NIFA Specialty Crop Research Initiative, over $7.5 million, which is really a nationwide project uniting regions in Washington State, Michigan, North Carolina, sort of the three big areas. And in that project, we work hand in hand with our growers, and we're trying to really understand where their trees coming from. And we're trying to understand how we can get better genetics out to them more quickly. As I said, it's a long-term process, but we're trying to kind of institute those new pipelines so they have access to some of this better germplasm.
We're talking with Justin Whitehill, who is part of a Christmas tree genetics program, basically breeding better Christmas trees. I mentioned off the top the smell of the Christmas tree. And mine this year doesn't seem as intense. I know some years it's been better than others. After a while, it kind of goes away. What creates that unique aroma of a real Christmas tree?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's sort of one of the big things we focus on. So conifers are sort of iconic for having this really beautiful aroma, and different species have different bouquets and aroma profiles. And so we work with the Fraser fir here in North Carolina, but when folks get a Christmas tree in the house, they often get that sticky sap, they call it, on their hands. That sticky sap, we call it resin in the science world, but basically that's where all those aroma compounds exist. And so that sap or resin is made up about 90% of a certain type of chemical that causes that stickiness, and about 10% are compounds that have what we call a very low boiling point, meaning that at room temperature, those compounds will evaporate and provide that beautiful aroma we're used to. And so those compounds are very important to understanding the aromas and play ecological roles, but we're trying to sort of understand what blends or combinations of those chemicals provide the experience that consumers interact with when they purchase a real tree.
You don't just hang one of those little green sticks that you can buy like 20 on Amazon for like $14, right? You just hang one of those in the tree. I think you're fine, aren't you?
I have no comment.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. I just love that, though. The Christmas tree of the future. It could last a lot longer, the smell, and maybe the needles won't drop. I think that sounds absolutely fantastic. Do you have a real tree at home, Sadie?
Do not. Always grew up with the artificial tree, and then now finding out that the aluminum trees have history in Manitowoc. I'm like, well, look, there's my Wisconsin excuse to get shiny. So yeah, that to me, as much as the spirit of Christmas is about connection and those real tangible relationships and spiritualness, give me some shiny artificialness when it comes to the tree.
I love that. The shininess. I think that's very you. So I like that. I used to do an artificial tree. It was beautiful. Then I met my husband. He came into my life, and it was much easier for him to just grab the tree and put it on the top of the car and bring it on up. And as soon as he came around, I was like, fantastic, because I love it. It's so great. It's just, there's something so cozy about going home to the Christmas tree with the lights on and the smell.
It's bringing nature in. That's very grounding. It's very earthy and peaceful in itself to have that tree there.
Yeah, it's hard to let it go. So we typically have it up too long, and that's why we have all the needles on the ground at the end. But maybe not in the future. Who knows?
It's worth it.
5 years, 10 years, we'll see. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:22. Coming up, Beyonce rocks Christmas.
Do you love the simplicity and enduring quality of Scandinavian design? Then the Fjords factory-sponsored sale at Ken Michaels Furniture is for you. Inspired by tradition and built to last, Fjords brings the best of modern Norwegian design to your home. Save 20% on these ergonomic recliners and sofas engineered with comfort in mind. Available with manual or power options. Stop in today and save 20% on Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown factory showroom. Get a better night's sleep and save money on a Milwaukee mattress. For over 70 years, our family has been making mattresses and selling them direct to your family. By cutting out distribution costs, you can save up to 50% and get a better night's sleep on a premium mattress. Go green with natural latex. Reduce tossing and turning at night by reducing pressure points on your body. This is one of our most popular mattresses. Stop in today and take a test rest at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
We'll talk about rockin' Christmas. Did you see Beyonce's performance? Beyonce performed at halftime of the Houston Texans Baltimore Ravens game. The 32-time Grammy winner came onto the stadium. She was riding a white horse.
Sure, it was all white.
She made an entrance. Holy moly. She ended up performing at the very end. She kind of closed it out with Texas Hold'em live for the first time. That was the first time she'd ever performed that live. It's a huge, huge song right now.
Yeah. The fact that she has come so far from Destiny's Child, one of the essential female R&B groups of pop music.
I remember growing up listening to Destiny's Child. I loved them.
And would you have ever said, you know what, I bet in about 20 years-ish, she's going to have a kick-ass country album that everybody's going to love.
Right. No, you would not have expected country. And I do. I love that song along with a lot of you listening right now. I also wonder where her daughter is going to be in 20 years because her daughter, Blue Ivy Carter, was dancing right alongside her, and she was just busting out. I mean, she had the moves. She's just following in her mother's footsteps.
Interesting to have that DNA. And then Blue Ivy's also voicing part of the Mufasa movie.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And she was just on the red carpet with mom and dad. And then some people were debating whether the dress was too intense for her age. Did you see that? I don't know. I actually thought it looked pretty nice. But so here's the thing. A lot of people tuned into the Houston Texans Baltimore Ravens game, not for the football, but for the halftime performance because they wanted to see Beyonce.
And that's exactly what the NFL wants.
Part of the beehive, right?
Yeah. As much as everybody complained about Taylor Swift going and cheering, watching football, not putting on makeup and socializing, watching football, that made people mad, which was crazy to me. So
I thought that was crazy too. Who cares?
Yeah.
And to be honest, even when she was maybe shown 5 times, it was for what?
2-3 seconds.
Seconds at a time.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So I have to think that the NFL loves that 2 of the most successful women in entertainment are connected to the NFL and enjoy being part of the NFL.
Without a doubt. I didn't actually watch it myself yesterday. Unless the Packers are playing, I don't care about the football. But I did watch it this morning, and it was quite the performance. What else would you expect from Beyonce, right?
She always brings it. And do you remember Beyonce? Do you remember that video of her falling downstairs during a performance? And that woman is resilient. She slid downstairs, got right back up, and started whipping her hair around again. She is just unstoppable, dedicated to her craft. And I compare this to Paul McCartney, hires the best people around her to get across her creative vision.
She is a pro's pro indeed. Saudi Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:27. Coming up next, your top local headlines.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family-owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from Southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of Southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
We are coming up on 11:30. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, December 26. Your top story, a Christmas morning tragedy in Milwaukee.
I'm Sandy Max in for Greg Matzik. A deadly plane crash in Kazakhstan.
Your forecast for today, can we just say one word? Fog.
The F word.
Very foggy out there. A little drizzle as well. Some of you are seeing cloudy. We have a high of 43 today. Tonight, cloudy, drizzle, and fog. Much of the same story. We'll dip down to 40. It's currently 44 degrees.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. There are early indications that a Russian anti-aircraft system may have shot down the Azerbaijani Airlines plane that crashed in Kazakhstan yesterday, says a U.S. official to ABC News. Why the plane was diverted from its Russian destination remains a mystery. Over 30 people aboard were killed in the crash. Houthi rebels in Yemen say Israeli air attacks today targeted the rebel-held capital and a port city. Israeli military says it attacked infrastructure used by the Houthis. The president and his family on the move, says ABC's national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Reporters spotted several members of the Biden family, including son Hunter, loading into the president's motorcade as it headed to Joint Base Andrews for the flight on Air Force One to the Virgin Islands. In keeping with a family tradition around the holidays, the Bidens are expected to spend several days on St. Croix.
Holiday season consumer spending was up 3.8% compared to last year, says MasterCard Spending Pulse. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 teenagers are dead after a shooting on Christmas morning. A suspect shot into a vehicle near 37th and West Scott Streets. A 15-year-old and 18-year-old inside that vehicle were hurt. The 15-year-old died at the scene. The 18-year-old later died at a local hospital.
Another Christmas morning tragedy in South Central Ohio. Ohio State Corrections officials say corrections officer Andrew Lansing died after an assault by a prisoner at the Ross Correctional Institute in Chillicothe. The veteran guard was described as friendly and outgoing. So far, no details about the assault or the inmate involved.
A day of mourning in Kazakhstan after a deadly plane crash on Christmas Day. The latest from ABC's Perry Russum.
Of the 67 people on board, at least 38 are dead, including both pilots. Russian news agencies report the plane was headed to Russia and was rerouted to Kazakhstan because of fog. Kazakhstan authorities say a bird strike may have led to engine failure. The Wall Street Journal reports some experts are questioning whether Russian air defenses connected to the war in Ukraine may have played a role in the crash.
Should the city of Milwaukee offer refunds on snow removal fees? District 11 Alderman Peter Bergelis tells Wisconsin's Midday News a better solution is improving the snow removal services.
Refunding $11.3 million worth of snowplow fees from the municipal services bill is going to be a really tough ask, right?
Sure.
The city doesn't have an extra $11 million floating around.
Alderman Bergelis says the city needs to be accountable for safer road conditions.
High-octane thrills return to Sheboygan this summer.
Powerboat racing is making its return to Sheboygan. According to the Sheboygan Press, the city will be hosting the second set of races in the P1 Offshore Triple Crown. The race is expected to generate millions of dollars for the city. Proceeds of the race will benefit nonprofits, which will then be used to help fund marine conservation, water safety, and youth educational programs. The race is expected to take place from August 8th to August 10th of 2025. Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Step out of your kitchen tonight and enjoy a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, voted the best supper club in the area. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's one of the most gorgeous and affordable supper clubs to visit during the holiday season. When you buy one dinner, you get a second dinner free. Desserts, my favorite part of the meal, are also buy one, get one free. Order your favorite seafood, steak, pasta, anything on the menu, including the steak and lobster, and your second dinner's free. Sip on a delicious old-fashioned Manhattan bourbon. They've got 100 wines, tap beers to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds has been transformed into a winter wonderland with thousands of lights, decorations, Christmas characters inside and out. It is a must-see. You'll feel the warmth of those 7 real wood-burning fireplaces as soon as you walk in the door. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. The drive is beautiful. Weekends may be too busy for some. Enjoy your free dinner tonight, and the Friday fish fry is all you can eat. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Packers looking to finish the regular season strong. The team squares off against Sam Darnold and the Vikings from Minneapolis Sunday afternoon. Green Bay is coming off a shutout win over the Saints on Monday Night Football. Clinched a playoff spot with the victory. Green Bay is third in the NFC North at 11-4. Milwaukee Bucks return from the Christmas break tonight. The team tips off against the Nets at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks have won back-to-back games and improved to 16-12. College basketball, Milwaukee hosts IU Indianapolis Sunday afternoon. Number 8 Marquette visits Providence New Year's Eve, and Wisconsin hosts Iowa January 3rd.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. The thing I want to let you know about right now, number 1, the fog. It is foggy out there. Be careful on the roads. Make sure you have your lights on. This is not new, but I want to let you know about it. It's a disabled vehicle off to the side of the road. It's new-ish, but we told you about it about 20 minutes ago. I-94 West near Moreland Road. Right lane is blocked, and I'm looking at the cameras. It's either a semi or a big truck, and I want to make sure that if you're headed on I-94 West to the Elm Grove, Brookfield area, you know about this, because it's not just a semi off to the road, it's a semi off to the road when there's a lot of fog out. So I want to make sure you know. I can see right now that it is starting to cause some significant delays because people are going slowly by it. That's some good news that they're going slow, but there is definitely significant slowing as you pass that. So if you're trying to go to Brookfield Square right now, maybe make some returns, you might run into that. Just a heads up. Be careful with the fog.
And we do have a WTMJ 5-day forecast, and that dense fog advisory is in effect until 3 p.m. for all of our listening area. So expect to see fog today, even drizzle, cloudy, high 43. Tonight, cloudy, drizzle, and fog, low 40. Friday, afternoon light rain likely, high 47. And the weekend, Saturday, a slight rain chance, very mild, high 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 46. And Monday, mostly cloudy, high of 44. In Madison, 37. Sheboygan, 41. And in Milwaukee, 42 degrees. I'm Sandy Max, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1138.
So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive, 6 to 8 years to arrive. And if you follow the
I love that song choice for this one, so big props to Jaslyn, who's filling in for Gina today. Want great deals? Well, shop today, especially for holiday decorations, nearly all of them made overseas, possibly subjecting them to tariffs proposed by President-elect Donald Trump. ABC's consumer correspondent Becky Worley with where to shop today.
Kohl's has holiday decor on sale for 50% off. Target also offering 50% off of holiday decor. And I can't tell you exactly what the savings will be, but one of the best places for these kind of deals, your local pharmacy chain. They historically slash prices on everything.
Worley says parents of young children would do well to shop for birthday party toys today. Target is offering up to 50% off games, dolls, and plush toys. Anytime you see 50% off, Sandy, that's just like, whoa, your eyes bulge out, right?
I will tell you, I was at Mayfair on Christmas Eve and bought myself a sweater.
You did?
Because the whole store was 50% off.
Yes.
I was like, everything?
I'm not opposed to that. You need a sweater, it's 50% off.
did.
You know, it doesn't have to be, it can be a gift to yourself.
Way
to go, Sandy.
It was, but it still surprises me that level of shopping. And then when we were doing preparation for the show today, and I saw deals, I see at Walmart 84%. Like, so if you really want to shop, this seems like even better than Black Friday.
84%. Yeah, they do say also check Walmart and Amazon for deals of the day and your local toy shop. Also, Macy's has 30% off select toys, including Barbie and Hot Wheels. Those are two that the popularity never fades.
No, for generations. I'm still surprised that Hot Wheels are so hot. Makes me happy. But even as soon as you say it, I know. But even just saying Hot Wheels, I could just, don't you want a little Corvette to
Yeah, just and make that noise too. Beep, beep.
It's
That's like when we're out on the road. Beep, beep. But today, if you're out on the roads, a reminder, keep those lights on. It is foggy. I knew it was going to be foggy. I mean, I was paying attention to the forecast, but still, when you go out there, even just coming into work today, driving downtown, you could hardly see in front of you.
Yeah, I was driving up by the airport around 8 o'clock this morning, and we have a WTMJ News Teams, so we can communicate with everybody in the newsroom at once. And I pulled over and I used the Teams to say, hey, this is no joke. Because, we're here in the newsroom. You can't see out a window because we look out on 3rd Street Market Hall. So if you think that advisory was lightening up at 9, you might think the fog was lightning, but it's like, no. So I wonder how much the fog delays travel all day today in the Midwest, because this really is thick, and that dense fog advisory going on till 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and speaking of holiday travel, we're going to talk about that coming up in our next hour, but that is a thing. I mean, you have a lot of people who are traveling home after going to a destination for the holidays. You have people hitting the roads. You have people in the air flying. And then you also have people who are extending their time away from work and doing New Year's Eve, destinations. So there is a lot of travel today. I know before 11 o'clock was supposed to be the best time to hit the roads. So if you're leaving today and you haven't already left, you kind of missed that slot.
Well, this is one of those times, leave early and take it slowly, because as you're approaching intersections, it's even hard to see the little red dot or the green dot for the traffic light ahead. And I'll tell you, I have driven on the expressway because I had to in the past during fog, and it scares the heck out of me because you're just kind of hoping to see brake lights in front of you when you can't truly see.
Right.
So I drove up, I came up Water Street up first because I thought I can't get fast. You can't really get more than 45 miles an hour on the street there, and it will be controlled. I can see better as opposed to just being on the expressway. So slow and easy, take a deep breath, and make sure you have your headlights on.
Yeah, and you mentioned that we don't have any windows here. We have windows that look out to the Great Pho restaurant right out here, but we can't see outside. But I am taking note of the fog by looking at the DOT cameras, so I can see that the fog is still very, very intense. It is lightening up a little bit in some spots, in particular, like I'm looking at the cameras at I-94 at Calhoun right now, which, by the way, it looks like that truck. Oh, yeah, some breaking traffic news here. It looks like that truck was just cleared. So that's some good news. That's going to help with the delays that we were seeing on I-94 West over in the Brookfield Square area. It looks like the fog is lightening up in some spots, but fog too, sometimes it just moves.
Mm-hmm. It rolls
and
right
then
through.
It's back. So yeah, just be careful. Make sure you have your lights on today. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:43. Coming up next, it is our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston. Are you well? I know a lot of people aren't. It's that time of the year, but what exactly is going around right now? We're going to find out.
Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you might still owe taxes on that money. I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates, and I believe it's your money and you deserve to know what's at stake. At Drake & Associates, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you earned. That's why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. We'd like to offer you our free Retirement Ready Toolkit. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So text TAX to 414-409-9982 today to get your complimentary toolkit. That's TAX to 414-409-9982. You work hard for your money, and we'll work hard for you.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Siding Unlimited, named the best window installers, not just here, but in the whole USA. Get the best. Siding Unlimited, 3-time winner as America's best window installer. For windows, you call Siding Unlimited first and directly. SidingUnlimited.com.
When you meet Jesus, you meet someone whose love for you is so great that you find yourself wanting to be better, different, more like Jesus, the one who has given everything for you.
People make New Year's resolutions in hopes of becoming a better version of themselves. But is self-improvement selfish? Dr. Chad Lakees talks about becoming a better you for the sake of others this week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Ben, I thought you were on vacation.
I am.
Okay.
I found the perfect vacation spot.
Where?
Here.
At Penny Mustard?
Specifically, the Miles sofa at Penny Mustard.
Did you say you're vacationing on a sofa?
It's not your run-of-the-mill sofa. The Miles sectional sofa is different.
Well, it is super comfy.
When you're fully ensconced in the luxurious embrace of the Miles sectional sofa, you ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Perfect for relaxing after a hard day of work.
Or a fun day of play.
Built just the way you want it.
So you're really spending a week of vacation on the Miles sofa?
I'll send you a postcard.
Postcard?
Dear Arvid and Nicole, wish you were here.
Good grief.
P.S. Miles says hi.
The Miles Sectional, starting at just $238 a month with only 1 penny down and no interest till January of 2028 through January 12th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing. Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna
11:46 on a Thursday, the day after Christmas. It's time for our weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County and Associate Professor at the Medical College of Wisconsin. Good morning, Dr. Weston.
Good morning. Did you have a nice holiday?
I don't have enough time to tell you about my wacky, weird week this week, Dr. Weston. I don't want to bring anybody down. It's been quite the week, but I do want to bring this up. I'll tell you what, I'm only at work today because it's the day after the holiday, because I am not doing so well. And I know there are a handful of other people who are sick right now, too. Something's going around, and I feel like it's more than one thing. What can you tell us? What's going around right now?
Well, I can empathize because we had some stuff going around our house recently, too, that screwed up our holidays. But there's a whole bunch of stuff going around. So it's that time of year when we start to see increases in all sorts of different viral illnesses. So we can start with the most fun. We have norovirus. So this is at a super high level. It's stomach flu. It has the nasty GI symptoms. It's extremely contagious. And so if somebody in your house gets it, everybody's pretty much going to get it. And so that is at really high levels. It's going around. And then you have rhinovirus, enterovirus. These are your common cold. And those are also at really high levels now. And in case we were thinking we're about to turn the corner, we're not. We have flu season starting to pick up. We have COVID levels starting to show signs of increasing. So all sorts of fun things to come as we go into kind of our typical winter of lots of illness going around.
So normally I wouldn't give this detailed experience because I'm one of those people I just like to be like, nope, I'm good. Everything's good. Like nobody on the radio needs to know. I think, 17 years on TV, I was the same. In fact, this is the first day in a nearly 2-decade career that I have not put makeup on for work. I once had a news director who was like, would you do that one time? Like, it might be good for ratings. Like, people would want to tune in. And I was like, heck no. Like, we can put a promotion on if we want to boost the ratings. I don't need to come into work without makeup. But today I am because I was feeling so crummy. I just couldn't do it. So, I mean, if that pulls you and you want to watch our stream right now and see what I look like without makeup, you could do that right now. But I'm asking this because there was something going around. People, had a kind of a bad cold and whatnot, and I definitely had that. But then I felt like last night I was turning the curve, and then all of a sudden this morning, up with something totally different. So I'm wondering, I know there are other people listening who are dealing with the same thing right now. If your immune system is down, how much more likely are you to get one of these other things and then to kind of be dealing with both maybe?
Well, that's exactly right. When you have all these different things going around, you can certainly get that kind of a double whammy where you are feeling crummy. And as you mentioned, your immune system is kind of knocked down already. And then another thing comes into your household. And so that very well may be what you have. Now, some of these things can go both directions. You can get the cold symptoms as well as the GI symptoms mixed with one awful virus. but certainly you can get back-to-back. And the best thing to do, first of all, it's about and this is more about prevention, but also getting over it. One is just common sense hygiene, infectious disease prevention, washing your hands often, especially after using the bathroom, before and after eating. Cover your mouth and nose with your arm when you cough or sneeze. And certainly, if you can, staying home, staying away from others when you're sick. And then with what's coming around the corner, making sure you're up to date on all your vaccines, flu vaccine, COVID vaccine, especially as we start seeing increases in both of those in the coming weeks.
Yes, and the only reason I'm here today is because it's the day after Christmas, and you just can't get people in. You don't want to ruin their
You've
holiday.
got a great work ethic, Jessica.
Oh, goodness.
And Dr. Weston, is it still timely to get a flu shot if you didn't already get it?
Oh, yeah, it's not too late. It's not too late. We're just starting to see flu picking up a little bit. And so you're later maybe than the ideal time, but you still have time to get that shot, get it on board, get that protection before we really start seeing flu ramping up.
We're talking with Dr. Ben Weston for a weekly wellness check. He's a chief health policy advisor for Milwaukee County. Dr. Weston, we all know how easy it can be to gain a few pounds this time of the year. Oh, gosh, all those cookies, all that Christmas dinner last night. Maybe you're thinking about that as well, heading into the new year for a New Year's resolution. Wanted to ask about this new study that shows for the first time in a decade, U.S. obesity rates have gone down. What are health experts saying about this decline? Because when I first saw it, I thought, okay, well, that's great news. But I also wondered, does it have to do with all these popular weight loss drugs like Ozempic?
That's right. Yeah. So obesity rates among U.S. adults dropped from 46% in 2022 to 45.6% in 2023. Now, that's not much of a drop, but despite it sounding like a small decrease, the fact of the matter is the first in a decade. And so that's pretty encouraging. And it is likely that this is multifactorial. A big factor is the weight loss drugs, such as Ozempic. These are leading factors. You may have seen this at your holiday gathering. So-and-so that, was overweight before isn't as overweight now, and it's because they're taking one of these medications. And there are other factors, lifestyle changes after the pandemic. People are a little more aware of, healthy behaviors might be playing a role. But it is important to note that despite this bit of a decline, obesity remains a public health concern. More than 1 in 3 U.S. adults is obese, but this is encouraging nonetheless.
And with this new study, were there any groups you noticed in particular that are driving down the obesity rate?
Yeah, absolutely. So it looked like older adults, particularly those in their late 60s, early 70s, women across multiple age ranges, those were the ones that experienced the largest drops in obesity. And then regionally, we saw some patterns too. The most significant declines were in the South, which interestingly has the highest rates of use of those new weight loss drugs. So there were specific groups that we saw lose more weight, and a lot of that seemed to be tied to those weight loss drugs.
Are weight loss drugs like Ozempic a sustainable long-term solution to the obesity crisis in our country? Or are there concerns and limitations to consider? I mean, they're just becoming so popular right now.
There are some limitations. So these medications certainly are effective. We see that. People are experiencing that firsthand. But they are expensive. They are somewhat hard to access, especially people without great insurance. If you have Medicare, if you don't have insurance, it's very hard to access these drugs, or it certainly can be. And then there's, of course, concern that we're not addressing the root causes of obesity. And what kind of long-term issues could happen, dependence-wise or other, with these medications. So certainly there's pros and cons. And in the end, I think while these medications may be part of the solution to weight loss, they shouldn't be our only strategy to combat obesity. And hopefully your physician or whoever's prescribing these medications is talking about that this goes along with diet and exercise and lifestyle change. But these medications can certainly help folks along.
All that good, sensible advice of move more and eat less, but having these additional medical solutions to help with that. And as we are celebrating and getting closer and closer to New Year's Eve, I get the impression that you may see some more people in the hospitals because why is New Year's Day really the most dangerous holiday for drunk driving? And what is it that really contributes to that spike in fatalities?
That's right. Well, I'll be working in the emergency department around New Year's, and I'm sure we will see this, unfortunately, that on New Year's Day, drunk driving-related deaths spike 117% above the normal rate.
Wow.
And this is something we see on our Milwaukee County Motor Vehicle Collision Dashboard as well, if you want to kind of dig into the data a bit. But the timing, as you might imagine, it's late at night on New Year's Eve into the early morning hours of New Year's Day. People are less alert, slower reaction time. And combine that with heavy alcohol consumption, more people on the roads, it's easy to see why New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in particular is the deadliest day of the year for drunk driving.
All my years working early morning television, when I worked New Year's Day, that was kind of just the scariest driving to work. You were on alert, just making sure you were looking at all the cars and making sure everyone was driving, safely. And unfortunately, I mean, I've definitely seen it over the years. Not everybody is. But remember, Uber, Lyft, there's so many options. I mean, free buses oftentimes. And speaking of that, if you are going out to celebrate, Dr. Weston, how can people stay safe? I mentioned a couple there, but there's some specifics that we have.
That's right. You mentioned a couple, but it's about planning ahead. What are you going to do? How are you going to get that sober ride home? And it might be a designated driver, your friend or family member. It might be one of those rideshare apps, Uber or Lyft. And as you mentioned, Milwaukee County buses are offering free rides from 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve through 4 a.m. on New Year's Day. So these are some of the best ways to avoid getting in any sort of a risky driving situation. Just have a plan in place and stick to that plan when you go out.
Dr. Weston, talking about planning ahead. So we get past New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and we are right into January. And I tried this last year, dry January. And I am strongly considering doing it again because dry January for me turned into my pants fit better February. So I kind of went on a streak. What are some of the health benefits that you've seen of doing a damp January or a full dry January?
That's exactly right. Your pants fitting better are just one of the benefits. So you may drop a few pounds. There's a lot of empty calories in alcohol. You also may improve your cardiovascular health. Alcohol can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. Of course, your liver, we know that your liver's job is to filter out toxins like alcohol, so you're giving your liver a bit of a break. And then you lower your risk of several different types of cancer by decreasing or eliminating your alcohol use. And you probably improve your sleep and your mental health as well when you decrease alcohol use too. And so both Milwaukee County and the state of Wisconsin far exceed the national average for alcohol use and binge drinking among adults. So if you're looking for substance use resources in Milwaukee County beyond just your dry January, there's lots of ways to reach out. But the easiest way to learn more is either to visit healthymke.com/well, or just pick up your phone and dial 211 and they can get you connected up with the right resources. But try it out. Dry January. Why not?
Dr. Ben Weston with our weekly wellness check. Dr. Ben, I'm glad you're feeling better, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I hope you continue to feel better. Take care.
Me too. Sounding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:57. Your top local stories are up next.
Hey, it's officially tailgating season, and Tailgate Tuesday is back. Join me, John Merkier.
And me, Julia Fellow, on Wisconsin's Afternoon News every Tuesday in the 4 p.m. hour for a chance to win a $150 gift card from our friends at Vienna Beef.
And be sure to catch Green and Gold Insiders every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Afternoon News for all you need to know about the Green and Gold. It's Tailgate Tuesdays.
It's Tailgate Tuesdays, and it's only here on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You want to know the price of a new roof on your home today? Well, it's easy. Just go to TriCountyContractingWI.com, click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? TriCountyContractingWI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's time for a Boxing Day beatdown against the Brooklyn Nets.
Middleton scored the last 7. You can make it 10. Bullseye. Three-pointer right at you from the near wing right.
Our Bucks Radio Game Day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, December 26. Your top story, deadly crashes over the holiday.
I'm Sandy Max, in for Greg Metzik. An abandoned infant on Christmas morning.
A dense fog advisory is in effect for most of southeastern Wisconsin. That goes until 3 p.m. today. Definitely have the lights on. Be careful when you're on the roads. It is foggy. Fog, drizzle, and cloudy today. That's the name of the game. High of 43. We'll dip down to 40 tonight. Tomorrow, PM rain is likely. It'll be light, but still, it's rain in the evening hours. High of 47. It is currently 44 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a bus driver is in custody after a deadly crash last night. Happened around 10:30 near 47th and Villard in Milwaukee. Police say 2 men were working on a vehicle on the north side of the street when a Milwaukee County Transit System bus hit them. A 79-year-old died right there at the scene. A 37-year-old is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the vehicle was parked legally. The 51-year-old bus driver stayed at the scene and was taken into custody.
1 person is dead and 4 people are hurt after a crash in Menominee Tuesday morning. It happened around 2:30 a.m. at Highway 12 and County Highway E. A 56-year-old man in an overturned car died at the scene. 4 people in an SUV were injured. A 30-year-old woman is facing life-threatening injuries. 2 passengers and the driver suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The Wisconsin State Patrol arrested the driver, 40-year-old Mark Sokolowski of Eau Claire, for homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle.
A child hurt by gunfire on Christmas morning. Happened before 6 a.m. near 35th and Call in Milwaukee. A 6-year-old was taken to the hospital for serious injuries. Milwaukee police are now investigating what led to the shooting.
Police in Colorado have arrested a couple whose baby was found abandoned in the median of a street Christmas morning. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
The Adams County Sheriff's Office says a passerby discovered the baby in a car seat wearing only a diaper. Temperatures were in the mid-30s at the time. Police have no idea how long the boy was left there alone in the cold. The boy's parents, Jarvis Sims and Christina Thurman, have been charged with felony child abuse.
A controversial steel industry merger. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula has the latest there.
Japan's Nippon Steel says it's extending the closing date for its nearly $15 billion purchase of U.S. steel. The proposed deal is facing intense opposition from the United Steelworkers Union, as well as politicians, including President Joe Biden. President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to block the deal after he takes office.
Despite the opposition, U.S. Steel shareholders overwhelmingly voted in April to approve the acquisition.
Making sure no one is alone on Christmas. A Sturgeon Bay couple makes it their goal to host Christmas dinner for veterans every year. Terry Werkheiser tells our news partners at NBC 26 he and his wife cook Christmas dinner at the VFW in Sturgeon Bay.
We always make sure that when people are leaving, they know we're doing this again next year. There's no two ways about it. We're here.
Werkheiser says they host dozens of veterans every year.
The city of Milwaukee is collecting and recycling Christmas trees starting today. They'll collect until January 31st. You have to have all the decorations off the tree. Don't put it in a bag either, so the tree can be shredded and composted. People in Milwaukee need to contact the Department of Public Works to schedule that pickup before placing the tree out on the curb. You can find all the details on our website right now, WTMJ.com.
Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 15 to 43,312. The NASDAQ is down 1.77 to 6,038. And the S&P 500 is down 8.61 to 20,022. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean, anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic Pro Adapt Hybrid with ease adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
We know what you're thinking, and all we can tell you is to drive careful.
Yep, Wisconsin roads are no joke this time of year, especially when you're driving on old, worn-out tires.
Schedule yourself a tire appointment with Richlands. We carry all sorts of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, Continental, and General, to name a few.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free tire mounting, free lifetime tire rotation, free flat tire repairs, and free alignment inspections.
Not to mention free wheel corrosion cleaning, lifetime warranty spin balance, and prorated tire protection.
Let's just say if you're driving around town, especially this time of year on old worn-out tires, you're due for tire service.
Courtney's right. And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires, because cold, wet, icy roads are no joke. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Packers hope to finish the regular season strong. Team squares off against Sam Darnold and the Vikings from Minneapolis Sunday afternoon. Green Bay is coming off a shutout win over the Saints on Monday Night Football and clinched a playoff spot with the victory. Green Bay is third in the NFC North at 11-4. Milwaukee Bucks return from the Christmas break tonight. The team tips off against the Nets at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks have won back-to-back games and improve to 16-12. And in college basketball, Milwaukee hosts IU Indianapolis Sunday afternoon. Number 8 Marquette visits Providence New Year's Eve. Wisconsin hosts Iowa January 3rd.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. The big story on the roads right now is the fog. It is foggy out there. Make sure you have your lights on. Give yourselves extra time. Take it slow. We don't have any big crashes at the moment, but a couple of disabled vehicles, and that's always a problem when there's fog, too, because you might come up and not see it. Want to let you know about one thing that is newer, Wisconsin 165 West. This is near the Pleasant Prairie area. 165 West at 4194 is closed right now. They say because of a disabled vehicle. I just took a look at the cameras. I don't see a disabled vehicle there, but just wanted to let you know about that. So it's possible that has just cleared, but just in case. We also have, closer to the Milwaukee area, 4145 South at Burleigh Street. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. And I-43 North at 145, so Fond du Lac Avenue. A couple shoulders blocked due to disabled vehicles. It does look like the fog is lightening up in some spots, but it's also rolling fog in others. So once again, just be careful.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a dense fog advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 3 p.m. today. Expect fog, drizzle, and cloudy conditions. High 43 tonight, cloudy, drizzle, and fog, low 40. Friday weather, afternoon rain likely, but light rain, high 47. Weekend weather, Saturday, a slight chance for a shower. Very mild temperatures, high near 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 46. And Monday, mostly cloudy, high 44. In Middleton, 37 and cloudy. Port Washington, 40 and cloudy. And in Milwaukee, a foggy 42 degrees. I'm Sandy Max, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1211.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life.
Joining me, Jessica Ty for Wisconsin's Midday News. Greg is off this week. Nice to have you here, Sandy. First time you've done the show.
I know. Happy to be here. And lean on me. You are a trooper, as we say. What a great work ethic. I'm sorry you're under the weather.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
But you are just a joy to work with, and it's a pleasure to work with you.
It's always
in the
great to work
newsroom.
with you as well. And I feel like now that you said "Lean on Me," I want to hear that song. I'm not going to sing it for you right now because my voice would not be great. I don't think my singing voice is not great on any day, though.
Well, yeah, but great to be with you on this Boxing Day.
We hope you all had a fabulous holiday, and as you know, the news doesn't stop even the day after Christmas.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Americans opened their wallets in a big way this holiday season. Consumer spending blew early estimates out of the water. ABC's Jim Ryan breaks it all down.
From November 1st through December 24th, total spending was up 3.8% compared to the same period last year. MasterCard Spending Plus measures traditional and online retail sales across all forms of payment and found that shoppers focused their dollars on in-store promotions and digital events like Black Friday. Online shopping surged 6.7% this year. Brick-and-mortar spending was up 2.9%.
Sandy, I don't know about you, but I bought every gift online this year, with the exception of one. I bought over the phone. I actually called a store out of state for a great gift that I knew was there as long as it wasn't sold out for my mom. And so I had it shipped from Florida, and it got here on time. I was like, oh, thank goodness. But other than that, I bought all of the Christmas gifts online this year.
I was an in-store shopper.
Yeah,
I only bought one thing yesterday. Which, yes, I know is Christmas Day, but I wanted to make sure.
You mean that sweater for yourself?
No, I bought that in the store at Mayfair Mall. But my boyfriend is the chef of the house, and I wanted to get him something from the Stanley Tucci cookware, but I didn't know what he wanted. So got the bargain, and funny. It is funny when you realize you're sitting on the love seat together and you're getting someone a Christmas gift on your phone. Like, how 21st century, from where we have. So, but
I don't think you were alone.
No, I don't think so either.
Sounds like a great gift, too. By the way, a key theme of this holiday shopping season was value. People were willing to spend if they could get a good deal, and retailers responded by offering promotions earlier than ever. Some big deals out there today. Also, a lot of people making returns. So stay with us, because coming up around 12:16 in just a few minutes here, we're going to talk to the Director of Consumer Insights at Salesforce, find out how returns have changed this year, and what we can expect shopping-wise coming up next year.
That's going to be helpful. Christmas travel is beginning to wind down. New Year's travel beginning to ramp up. ABC News transportation correspondent Gio Benitez reports on the numbers preparing to hit the TSA today.
We're seeing travelers just peak just before and after the holiday. That's what we usually see. Now we're seeing them consistently busy at airports across the country just about every day. Today, Hopper says 3.5 million people are expected to fly, which would make it among the busiest days of the season.
Those are the people flying. How about you? Are you going to be on the road? AAA says to expect plenty of traffic between now and 5 o'clock. And if you hit the road before 11 this morning, that was your sweet spot. That was the best time to be driving, despite the dense fog.
Yeah, the only problem is the fog, but as far as the number of people on the roads, before 11 was the best bet. Starbucks employees are back on the job after a 5-day strike the union calls the biggest in the coffee chain's history. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the update.
The Starbucks Workers United Union says 5,000 baristas demanding higher wages walked off the job on Christmas Eve, shutting down more than 300 stores across 43 states. Now, Starbucks points out that is just a fraction of the more than 10,000 locations that it owns across the U.S. And the coffee chain accuses the union of walking away from the bargaining table, saying we are ready to continue negotiations over pay and benefits.
The strike did impact some Starbucks stores here in Wisconsin. Signing a limited WTMJ News Time is 12:15. Coming up next, I know a lot of you have returns to make, maybe something that didn't really fit from a gift you got over the holidays. What to expect with return policies this year? That's next.
Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.
Blackouts.
Tens of thousands of customers across southeast Wisconsin are without power this morning.
Icy roads.
Very, very slick conditions pretty much everywhere.
And more with WTMJ Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and at WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. Greg Matzik here. One name, synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza. It's Palermo's, made right here in Wisconsin and celebrating its 60-year anniversary in 2024. That is decade upon decade of doing it right, and that's what Palermo's does. Find Palermo's wherever you like to shop. Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, Woodman's. And then try and make up your mind on which Palermo's frozen pizzas to buy. There's Connie's and Urban Pie. My personal favorite, the Screamin' Sicilian. The best frozen pizza you will ever have. Made proudly in Wisconsin by Palermo's. Flavor is their family's business. It's Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Palermo's. Pick up a few. Put some in the freezer, then put one in the oven tonight. On the table for dinner, I'm telling you, everybody's going to be happy. Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, celebrating 60 years of doing it right in the state of Wisconsin. Celebrate tonight with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
The holiday season is a magical time of year to visit Lake Geneva. Embark on an enchanting Santa cruise on the lake. Take in a parade of trees and marvel at the world's tallest glass tree, built before your very eyes. Enjoy holiday shopping in a historic downtown. Chill out with festive food and libations in an igloo under the stars. Or find adventure on a zipline, ski hill, or snow-covered nature trail. Make Lake Geneva your place for holiday fun this year. Check out visitlakegeneva.com today for all the festive details.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry
Jaslyn, real quick on there to get the lean on me. A song in there.
Jaslyn's great with the musical vibe.
Well, hey, the 2024 holiday season has been a smash hit so far with global online sales. Today, you've got people going into the stores trying to get those great deals, everything on a big discount. You also have people going into the stores to return something, maybe something they didn't really like or something that didn't fit, right? Well, how are returns different this year, and what can we expect when it comes to trends in the stores next year in 2025? Let's check it out right now with Kayla Schwartz. She's the Director of Consumer Insights at Salesforce. You have a lot of good information for us. Thanks for joining us today, Kayla.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start first with the holiday shopping season. How did it look for consumers and retailers in 2024?
Yeah, it was a record-breaking online holiday shopping season. We are expecting sales to reach $281 billion this year, which is just incredible. And we were even looking to beat our growth estimates for the season. So consumers were really engaged across the online channels this holiday, which is great. However, what we did see was interesting was that discounts were slightly lower than they were last year. So consumers didn't exactly get the best deals, but that didn't stop them. They were ready to shop. They've been planning for this all year. They've been budgeting and waiting, and that is exactly what we saw.
With the biggest gift giving days behind us, I know a lot of people are turning their focus to returns. The malls are always tend to be busy. Some people just want to go and get rid of it right away, and that sounds bad. Like, some people didn't like a gift, okay, that happens, but sometimes it doesn't fit. I know myself, sometimes it's like, I like it, but it's not exactly me. And if I don't return it right away, it's going to end up sitting in the drawer, sometimes for years.
With good
with
intentions.
the little tag still on it. So returns, a big deal today. What can we expect from retailers handling returns? What's different about a lot of these policies this year?
Yeah, well, I'm in the exact same way. It is such a hassle to return. And we are already seeing, before we even hit December 26th, returns are up 36% over last year. Yeah. So retailers have already been dealing with a lot of returns, and it's about to get even worse because today and the next couple of days are going to be the peak for returns for the entire season. So a lot of shoppers are going to be heading into the mall, to the stores to try and get those returns completed. What we're going to see is a lot of retailers trying to get consumers to go online first. So using their customer service agents, leaning into especially their new AI agents to try and help deflect some of that in-store traffic on these busy days. We're also going to see shorter return windows, perhaps even product categories that are not returnable at all, because ultimately higher returns mean lower margins for retailers, and that cost ultimately gets passed back off to the consumer.
How well do those bots work? Because if I think about, okay, I've got the little chat box that pops up from the bottom corner of the computer and I'm chatting with, Paul Bot about something that I need to return, I feel like the only times I've ever done it, it ultimately ends up going to a human at some point.
Yeah, we're seeing incredible growth in this particular space this holiday season. So this is the first holiday where we've actually had AI agents, not just the traditional chat bot. And these AI agents are they're a lot more autonomous, they're able to make decisions and better serve the customer. Our data has shown that this holiday season, for retailers that are using AI agents as opposed to bots, they're seeing incredible returns. Actually, for the Cyber Week period, the busiest, most important week of the year, retailers using agents actually saw some of those key moments up to 15, 16% better conversion rates online than their peers who are not. So this is a fast-growing space, and there's a lot of exciting things happening here. But there's some clear early evidence that not only are shoppers leaning into these tools and retailers are offering it to them, but they're actually making the shopping experience better for shoppers.
That's interesting. Salesforce's Director of Consumer Insights, Kayla Schwartz, with us. And Kayla, you'd mentioned that this increase in returns and maybe some categories not being returnable, that is not good for the store's business. Will that increase lead to higher prices that get passed on to us? And kind of what can shoppers expect next year as inflation may rise?
Yeah, that is absolutely something that we will be tracking and we are concerned about. Ultimately, when we have gone through periods of high return rates, particularly if we look back to 2021, 2022, that is exactly what we saw. It was a cycle of high returns and then later on down the line, increased prices. So that is absolutely something that we're concerned about. However, what's different about 2024 into 2025 than in prior years is we have all of these new amazing efficiency tools through the rise of artificial intelligence. So we expect retailers will be leaning into these tools to hopefully make themselves more efficient, drive down costs overall, and hopefully absorb some of that cost so they won't have to pass it off to the consumer.
Kayla, you've had so much great insight here. I can kind of tell, too, you're one of these people who has tips and tricks, I bet. Do you have any tips and tricks to help all of us navigate the returns process with ease?
Yeah, you want to start the return online. Especially right now, we think all of these shoppers are heading to the store. Not only do you have other people making returns right now, but you have a lot of the end of season shoppers looking to get those end of season deals, right? So the malls are going to be packed. It's going to be busy. Before you venture out to the mall, start it online, see what type of service you can get. Maybe there's a deal that you can get, or they have a product recommendation. So instead of returning that item, you can exchange it for something better or maybe get a better deal. So I would say start it online. Then they'll give you the next steps on when to return it to the store, if you need to go to the store at all, so you can avoid some of that madness and that rush between now and New Year's.
Yeah, some people just heard that and said, nope, not going to the stores today, just not going to do it. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining us. That's Kayla Schwartz, Director of Consumer Insights at Salesforce.
Thank you.
Saudi Limited, WTMJ News Time is 12:25.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off your shoulders. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Gruber Law Offices. Let them focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. No fee, no cost to call, no cost to consult and retain their firm. In fact, never a fee until they win your case. It's locally known and nationally recognized Gruber Law Offices. Visit gruber-law.com or call 414-276-6666.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly, opening this spring. Whether it's active fitness, enjoying a swim in the indoor pool, improving your handicap using our golf simulator, or hosting guests on our rooftop patio, the Westerly has you covered. Providing seniors with award-winning residences throughout Wisconsin, this locally owned and operated company is engaged and offers unmatched services. Apartment reservations are booking quickly. Call Stacy at 262-737-5501 or visit livingwesterly.com.
You're not just a job number as a Sidex customer. They've been family-owned since 1988, and they treat you as part of their family. Upgrade and transform your current bathroom space with Sidex Windows Siding and Bath. They have seasoned design consultants with 10 to 30 years of experience. The owner, Joe, is honoring his dad's legacy with top-tier products and expert craftsmanship. It's Sidex, the best in the business. Get a free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ. Visit sidexremodel.com.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks on demand in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Return to sender. Address unknown.
No one's stocking had a $1 billion Mega Millions ticket in it. You know what that means. Tomorrow's jackpot is even bigger, an estimated $1.15 billion. This man already has some plans for the money if his numbers are drawn.
I take care of my kids' college that they're in the middle of. You know, they're both here in state New Jersey. Wife and I would probably move back to Philly, back in the city.
Only 3 Mega Millions jackpots have been won this year, which is the fewest in a year since the game began. The odds of winning the jackpot, just insane. They're just insane. That's what we're going to say. They're one in
Right.
No, they're insane.
And all the comparisons of the other things that are more likely to happen to you than winning the $1.5 billion. But it's a whole lot of fun, and it's what, $2?
Yeah, you actually have better odds of being struck by lightning twice in your lifetime. That's approximately a 1 in 9 million chance. But if you're playing, good luck.
Good luck.
It's 12:28. Your top local stories and national news coming up next.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake. Are you sure you're getting the most out of Social Security benefits? At Drake & Associates, we know that maximizing your Social Security is critical for a secure retirement. With the right strategy, you can potentially increase your lifetime benefits and secure a better future. But navigating the rules and timing can be complex. Don't leave your benefits to chance. Text SS to 414-409-9982 today to schedule a complimentary consultation and receive a free retirement ready toolkit. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Drake & Associates. Plan smart, retire happy.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food.
That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
It is 12:30. I'm Jessica Ty. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, December 26. Your top story, deadly violence in Milwaukee on Christmas morning.
I'm Sandy Max in for Greg Matzik, hit by a car while trying to help another driver.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. A U.S. official tells ABC News that early indications are a Russian anti-aircraft system might have shot down the Azerbaijan Airlines jetliner yesterday over Kazakhstan. ABC's Perry Russum.
The Kremlin was asked about whether Russian air defenses shot at the plane. A spokesperson for the Kremlin says it would be wrong to speculate before the investigation is complete. Russia has been defending that area from Ukrainian drone attacks.
Over 30 people were killed in the crash. Despite higher prices, holiday sales rose this year, nearly 4% over last year at this time, says MasterCard Spending Pulse. Going up, the cost of borrowing for a home. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage in the U.S. rose for the third straight week to its highest level since mid-July. That reflecting a recent jump in the bond yields that lenders use as a guide to price home loans. The raise rose to 6.85%. President Biden and his family have landed in St. Croix for a vacation. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 teenagers are dead after a shooting in Milwaukee on Christmas morning. Someone shot into a vehicle near 37th and West Scott Streets. A 15-year-old and an 18-year-old inside the vehicle were hurt. The 15-year-old died right there at the scene. The 18-year-old later died at the hospital.
A tow truck operator is dead after a Christmas Eve hit and run in the village of Summit. 40-year-old Hussein Farhat of Yafo Towing in Chicago was loading a disabled vehicle on the eastbound shoulder of I-94 just east of Sawyer Road when a minivan struck him. Farhat died on the way to the hospital. The driver fled the scene. A 39-year-old suspect later turned himself in. Waukesha County Sheriff's Office took the man into custody for hit and run causing death.
Renewed calls for congressional term limits. News Nation's Tom Dempsey reports.
We saw this debate grow in recent years when longtime Senator Dianne Feinstein suffered from a bout of shingles and was absent from the Senate for about 2 months. She died in office last year at the age of 90. This year, 84-year-old Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi suffered a fall during a congressional trip overseas and needed surgery. And earlier this month, 82-year-old Senator Mitch McConnell suffered a fall and sprained his wrist. That all happened after he appeared to freeze during 2 news conferences last year.
6 states have passed resolutions this year calling for term limits for members of Congress. That includes Wisconsin. It would take 2/3 of the 50 states to pass similar resolutions in order to call a U.S. term limits convention.
The latest unemployment snapshot suggests some people are having a difficult time finding new jobs once they file for unemployment benefits. ABC's Brian Clark has more.
The Labor Department's weekly jobs numbers show the highest number of people collecting unemployment benefits since November of 2021. That number, 1.91 million for the week of December 14th, was up by 46,000 from the last reading. But new jobless claims went down by 1,000. The 4-week average sits at 226,500. Economists say it's a sign of a broadly healthy labor market. Brian Clark, ABC News.
High-octane thrills return to Sheboygan this summer.
Powerboat racing is making its return to Sheboygan. According to the Sheboygan Press, the city will be hosting the second set of races in the P1 Offshore Triple Crown. The race is expected to generate millions of dollars for the city. Proceeds of the race will benefit nonprofits, which will then be used to help fund marine conservation, water safety, and youth educational programs. The race is expected to take place from August 8th to August 10th of 2025. Sean Brinda, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 12:34.
This holiday season, the Salvation Army needs your help. Bell ringers are working hard, and our service depends on generous donations like yours. Every dollar donated helps us provide meals, shelter, and emergency support to families in crisis, not just at Christmas, but all year long. From immediate need to long-term care, your donation can create lasting change in our communities. Join us in making a difference. Volunteer as a bell ringer or donate today. Visit salvationarmywi.org to learn how you can help.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Hey WTMJ fans, Gary Ellison here from our friends at Best Electric Service, an A-plus Better Business Bureau family owned and operated who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making panel upgrades to your home, new LED in lighting, electric vehicle charging, and all residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality service at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. Green Bay Packers looking to finish the regular season strong. The team squares off against Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings from Minneapolis Sunday afternoon. Green Bay coming off a shutout win over the Saints on Monday Night Football and clinched a playoff spot with the victory. Green Bay third in the NFC North at 11-4. Milwaukee Bucks return from the Christmas break tonight. The team tips off against the Nets. Fiserv Forum. Bucks have won back-to-back games and improved to 16-12. Jessica Ty and I will check in with Bucks insiders Eric Name of The Athletic in just a minute or two here. And in college basketball, Milwaukee hosts IU Indianapolis Sunday afternoon. Number 8 Marquette visits Providence New Year's Eve. And Wisconsin hosts Iowa January 3rd.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. The big story on the roads right now is the fog. Be careful. Definitely give yourself distance. Put those lights on. We have a couple disabled vehicles. No crashes. Hope I didn't just jinx that right there. Fingers crossed. Disabled vehicle on the exit to North Avenue from 4145 North. That's not far from Mayfair, where a lot of people will be shopping, trying to get those big deals today. The big discounts, also making some returns from some gifts that maybe didn't work out over the holidays. I'm taking a look at the camera right there. I can tell it's definitely foggy. I do see that an emergency responder is out there with lights on, so that's good news. It's just one of those things, a disabled vehicle on another day might not be so bad, but today in the fog, you don't want to come up on that and not see it and have something happen. So once again, that's 4145 North over by Mayfair. We also have a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Kilbourne, Highland Avenue to I-43 North in Milwaukee. So a heads up on that one as well.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a dense fog advisory is in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Today, fog, drizzle, cloudy, high 43. Tonight, cloudy, more drizzle and fog, low near 40. Friday, expect some afternoon light rain, high 47. And the weekend, Saturday, slight chance for a shower, very mild, high near 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy, high 46. And Monday, mostly cloudy, high of 44. Right now in Waukesha, cloudy and 39. Sturtevant, cloudy and 44. And in Milwaukee, a foggy 42 degrees. I'm Sandy Max, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 12:38.
Your all-you-need-to-know segment, centered around the Milwaukee Bucks.
The long wait has ended. After a half-century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
It's Bucks Insiders, every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed it is. Time for Bucks Insider, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors and Best Electric.
These minutes have been fantastic for him. To keep him under 25 in the last two games when we have Dame and Giannis out, and still keep Chris under 25, that's huge for us.
Head coach Doc Rivers talking about Chris Middleton there. Man, it has been so nice to see Chris Middleton back in the mix.
I will tell you, he is one of my favorite players on the Bucks, and so my heart is always like, oh, be healthy. So I always wish him good healing vibes. So when he's on the court, I love his understated style of play. And I remember Giannis saying when they first were on the team together, they had to feel each other out. They weren't fast friends, and it took them to kind of figure out their styles together. But once they did, that Giannis is a big Cash fan. I mean, the chemistry is right there. I kind of worried initially. I thought, okay, number one, I was worried about Chris Middleton just getting back in the mix because he had surgery on both ankles? Yeah.
So I just think I would be nervous to get back out there with surgery on one ankle, let alone two. Obviously, the Bucks, the team, all of the physicians, all of the trainers, everyone behind them, they know what they're doing. They're not going to put him out there if he's not ready. But I was a little nervous for it. And then I thought, too, okay, this is a different team as well. But I thought, will the chemistry just come back like that? But it seems to be working. Let's check in right now with Eric Name from The Athletic. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, Eric.
I did. I hope you had the same.
We were just talking about Chris Middleton being back in the mix and listening to Doc. How are you feeling about Chris Middleton being back in the mix? Is he just like how he was? Is it back to normal, Chris Middleton?
I think once he starts to play 35 minutes a game, I think you could say that. But when you talk to Chris, that's kind of the big thing, is that he's just not all the way there yet from a minutes perspective, from a stamina perspective, and just being able to play as many minutes as he normally would. But in the 25 minutes that he does play, he looks an awful lot like the Chris Middleton of the past. He looks like the guy that can score at all three levels. He looks like the guy that can make plays for other people. One of his first games back, I think he assisted on 7 dunks for Giannis Antetokounmpo in about 15 minutes, and that makes Giannis happy. That makes the Bucks happy. Getting those easy looks for Giannis is always a good thing. So, that chemistry is still there with all the guys that he's been with over the years, and it will still take a little while to get him up to those minutes and then kind of get him all the way built in, because it does have an effect on the other players. But obviously, a guy like Taurean Prince was starting previously, and now he's going to see his minutes go down. Gary Trent will see his minutes go down. So all of those, kind of second layer things that go along with adding Chris back will end up making this a little bit more of a process. But as far as what Chris Middleton looks like, it's looking an awful lot like the guy that he was before the ankle surgeries this offseason.
We love having him back in, but we will also want Dame and Giannis in with him. And there have been a couple of games where Giannis and Dame were both out. I know somebody, more than one people. There are a handful of people on social media talking about load management. Is that a possibility, or were these guys just hurting? And what can we expect tonight for tonight's game at home here against the Nets? Will they be in?
Yeah, I don't think load management is something that the Bucks really do with either of their two stars. Both those guys love to play and do everything they can to play. The other night, Doc Rivers had kind of joked pregame, like, I'm going to say Giannis is probably out because I think he should be out, and I think he should not play. But if Giannis is in the building and goes through his warm-up and puts on his jersey, he is going to do everything in his power to play. So, I, as the coach, would like him to sit out, but he might just, in the end, say, I'm playing, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. That's the kind of level of determination that I think both Giannis and Damian Lillard have. So those two, to me, have never been a big part of any load management conversation. But I think the thing that we're seeing now is the latest update to the injury report has Giannis listed as questionable with an illness. It was previously back spasms, now it's an illness. And this is a flu, an illness, whatever you want to call it, that has been sweeping through the Bucks locker room for 3 weeks at this point. It was about a week before they went to Vegas. And then obviously the NBA Cup final in Vegas, Chris Middleton was a late scratch because he had it. This thing has just been getting passed around the locker room. And I won't get into any details about it, but it does not sound like an awful lot of fun, this illness that the players are kind of going through and passing around the locker room. So, Dame posted on, I think social media yesterday on Instagram that this is the most sick he's felt in years. So this is not a situation where I think they're being protected from themselves. I think it's a situation that if this is the illness that they have, it might be that they legitimately just can't get out on the floor and play.
I believe it. I sympathize with them. The only reason I'm here today is it's because it's the day after the holiday and you don't want to ruin everybody else's plans, but I am boom out of here after this. Came in with a mask just to, I know Sandy's ready to, run out of here. But I'm glad you brought that up because there are a lot of people dealing with this. And during our last hour, we talked with Dr. Ben Weston, who's the Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. He was a little under the weather earlier this week as well. And he was talking about norovirus going around and you've got rhinovirus and all these things. You've got COVID thrown into the mix. So now we know the Bucks locker room also dealing with some of this. In fact, this might be the first. I've gone to every home game so far this season, and I told my husband, I said, find a friend. a friend's going to that game tonight. But what should we expect?
Do we know if there's anything like this going through the Nets locker room?
Oh, good question, Sandy.
I will say there have been throughout this season, probably the last couple of weeks, there's been multiple games where guys on all their teams had been sick. So I can't speak to the Nets locker room specifically. I haven't heard with them, but it is, it's every game you go to, you talk to beat writers from the other teams or people around those teams, staffers and things like that. And this is, it is obviously, I think, just a nice reminder that while these guys might seem superhuman and they can do superhuman things, they can dunk and all these different things, they are still human and they get sick just like the rest of us.
As one of our Bucks insiders, what are you watching for during tonight's game?
Yeah, I think this Nets team is interesting. They are a team that was rebuilding this year and then surprisingly good. A team that surprisingly beat the Bucks early in the season. That kind of helped the Bucks understand that they need to play a lot harder and be a lot more aggressive. So honestly, it kind of helped the Bucks in a way that early loss against a Nets team that wasn't supposed to win a whole lot of games. But because they won too many games, their management decided that they're going to start trading away some of their players. So Dennis Schroeder played for the Warriors yesterday on Christmas Day. That was the Nets starting point guard the first time the Bucks played them. So we're seeing more and more of those players leaving Brooklyn, which means this is the third time the Bucks are going to see the Nets this year, and this is the third different version of the Nets that they're going to see. So I think that to me is like the big thing is, how seriously can the Bucks take this scouting report? They just had 2 days off. They were given Christmas and Christmas Eve day as well to kind of rest and relax and see their families. When you have those couple of off days, it is how professional are you on the day that you get back and what kind of shape are you in and how focused are you? So the big thing to me is, can they move past those days off, the holidays, maybe big meals yesterday? I know I ate a big one yesterday. So can they move past all of that and get themselves ready to go to play basketball tonight and win one of the 82 games that they need to win?
Sure. We're talking with Eric Name from The Athletic. I'm wondering, too, you mentioned kind of the Brooklyn Nets trading away some guys. I see a lot of chatter out there, and I'm going to put chatter in quotes, about trade talks for the Bucks. Some people thinking that, maybe this is not the team to get us to the championship. This is the team I want to get us that next championship, and that's why I'm in the seats every single home game, except for maybe tonight. But what are you thinking? What are you seeing? Do you think that the Bucks are going to make any big tradeaways to try to firm up this team to get that next championship?
Yeah, I think over the years, general manager John Horst has been one of the most aggressive general managers in the entire league. He is someone that every trade deadline, he goes out there and he tries to make a move to make the team better. I think it's 7 years he's been in charge, and all 7 years they made a deal at the deadline, or potentially a little bit earlier than that. So he is always looking to add new players, but I think this year is going to be one of the toughest years for him because he's been so aggressive over the years. The Bucks don't really have a whole lot of first-round picks or second-round picks to be able to trade. those for contending teams are kind of always the capital that you use to make a trade. And the Bucks don't have a first-round pick that they can trade until 2031. They don't have a second-round pick they can trade until 2031. So those are pretty far off in the future and don't have a whole ton of value. So you have that. The Bucks have been a luxury tax team for much of their time as contenders since 2021 when they were an NBA championship team. So that means the money that they can send out is even more restrictive, and the rules around them are even tougher and more punitive. So it's going to be tough to make a deal, but I don't think that is going to stop John Horst from looking. It's just going to be a really tough situation when you try to look through the salaries on the roster and the potential players that they could trade, and it's guys that are either important or just not playing particularly well at this moment, or maybe outside of the rotation. When you think about a guy like Pat Connaughton, or you think about Marjan Beauchamp or some of the younger guys on the roster. So I think it's going to be a tough time of year for the Bucks to put together a trade, but that is not going to stop John Horst from looking under every nook and cranny to try to see if there's some extra value that they can add to this team to see if they can firm up the roster a little bit. Because while they are playing better, they are still not perfect. There's always going to be a way to get better, and John Horst is going to go out there and look for that.
Yeah, true. Eric, I know I've seen you before the games down there on the floor. Where are you at halftime?
Halftime, I tend to go down to the press room and grab myself a coffee to get through the second half.
Okay, smart. But I don't know, tonight, Sandy, what we've got going on, you might want to stay and watch this.
I think you want to take your cup of coffee courtside because it sounds like the Milwaukee Bucks have some holiday festivities planned, including the Dachshund Through the Snow race. And we have somebody that you can root for. Walter the Dachshund is going to be racing because our Good Karma Brands teammate Amy and her son Julian are participating in the Dachshund Through the Snow race. So Walter is looks like he's like brown, a little bit of black, with some black and brown on his face. So shout Walter as soon as the race goes. And
sounds good. I will try to figure out what lane Walter is, and I'll be cheering for that number the whole way.
This is, if you've never seen it, it's two people on one each side. So Walter's supposed to race from Amy to her son.
But you never know with dogs.
Will
what
they
happens.
go straight?
They might be going out to the crowd. They think somebody's popcorn is a treat. I mean, they can go off the rails.
Sure.
The chaos that will ensue.
Very exciting.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Eric Name with The Athletic for this week's Bucks Insiders.
Don't go broke in a nursing home when you don't have to. Did you know the average cost of long-term care in Wisconsin is $10,000 a month? Well, who pays for this? Medicare doesn't cover long-term care, so either you do or Medicaid does. WTMJ's Greg Matzik from my friends at Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Secure your assets by calling Dan and the team today. They've built their business around protecting you. Protect what you've earned, protect what you've built. With a new office in Brookfield, let my friends and the experts at Krause Estate Planning guide you. EstatePlanningPeople.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refresh.
Dashing change, Rich Lawns.
Hey, psst, check this out. There's free pizza today at the famous Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Merck here. It is the best Thursday dining value anywhere. When you buy one pizza today, you get a second pizza free. Seriously, it is free. Buy one, get one free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Hey, if you buy 10 pizzas, you get 10 free pizzas. Bring in pizza for your holiday office or company party. Half those pizzas are free, saving your company a lot of money. Coaches, bring in your team for free pizza today at the Mine Shaft. It's super affordable team bonding. Your players will love that world-class game room. The Wednesday and Friday fish fry is all you can eat, just $7.99. That's a crazy low price. Happy hour is 2 till 5 with half-price beers, cocktails, and appetizers. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. The holiday decorations are beautiful. It's festive. It's fun. It's the Mine Shaft. Don't cook and clean. Walk into the Mine Shaft. Enjoy your free Thursday pizza, mineshaft.restaurant.com.
Among his final acts in the White House, President Joe Biden signed legislation amending the U.S. Code to designate a national bird. If you thought we already had one, hold on to your tail feathers and listen to this from ABC's Jim Ryan.
Preston Cook is obsessed with the bald eagle.
If it had an eagle on it, I'd buy it.
His collection of bald eagle memorabilia contains hundreds of items, but a few years ago, his research found that the bald eagle was never formally designated as our national bird. He and the National Eagle Center lobbied to get that changed. Congress agreed, and now President Biden has signed the change into law. The bald eagle is Preston Cook's obsession.
We see freedom. We see independence. We see power.
And it's now the national bird of the United States of America. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Some people right now are like, mind blown. I thought it was already the bird.
I did too.
Thought it was our bird.
Yeah.
Nope, wasn't. But now it is. The bald eagle, the U.S. bird. And you know what, Sandy? We're flying away right now. We're flying away on this day after Christmas. Up next, it's your top local news. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
You know when you're out running those errands and you're flipping through the stations on your radio? How about flipping it to WTMJ Saturdays at 1 for Experience Wisconsin? We will introduce you to some of the coolest places in our state and tell you about some of the really sweet things that you can do. This week on Experience Wisconsin,